One for the money, two for the show. Ladies and gents, welcome to the podcast, the 2 Cents Podcast. I'm Brad. Armand is on vacation right now, so I'm holding it down dolo on the hosting tip. But we got our hosted guests as usual in the building. Before we even begin, I just want to send a shout out to Life Hats. You guys can go check them out at life_threads. We actually had a artist come through, Matt Katana. He's been on several episodes. And they're basically showcasing hats and fashion and African culture. We're going to be posting up some pics so you guys can check that out. If you're down with the culture, if you're down with African culture, if you're down with just fly fashion, check them out. They got some good stuff. And you can follow them once again on Instagram at life_threads. Threads with a Z. And they are entitled Life Hats. So without further ado, man, I just want to get everybody acclimated really quick. You know what I mean? We got two return guests, and we got our first special guest on the line with us, man. It's his first time rocking out on the podcast. Before he introduces himself, I'm gonna give him an introduction. And you know, I knew about this brother before I knew him. And if you were, I'm gonna say 2000, 2001, 2002, if you were involved in, you know, Philadelphia sports, anything of that nature, you know, this dude was in the newspapers like every other week. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm taking you back, Don, but I actually knew of you because you dated a sister, and I dated Denise. You know what I mean? Took you back on that one. But
definitely.
Without further ado, man, my man Don Jeff, man, welcome to the podcast, brother.
Thank you, man. I'm excited to be on here, man. It's been a long time.
Absolutely, man. You know, you were uptown. You know, you're in Northwest. I call it Northwest Philly for the people that are not, you know, accustomed to Philly and PA. But you're an uptown legend in these sports streets, man.
Thanks. West Oak Lane. A lot of people say uptown, yeah. But West Oak Lane, that's the heart of uptown, man. The heart of uptown.
Straight up. Hey, and we got Zoe back in the building. You know what I'm saying?
What's good? No, I mean, always blessings here. See what's good with this 2K1 review.
And we got Kev in the building, man, back again, rocking out with us, man.
What's the word? It's a pleasure to be back. Let's talk a little bit about 2001, the year in hip-hop.
Let's get it. So, you know, before we get into the review, we just got an upfront topic that wasn't in the draft, so it's going to be a curveball for you guys. But I'm sure that we can do it justice. I just want to get you guys' stance on mainstream music versus commercial music, and is there a difference? You know, what are your opinions and beliefs about that?
You said mainstream and commercial?
Yeah, mainstream and commercial music.
Isn't that one of the same though? Well, at least to me, when I think of mainstream commercial is, you know, top 40, you know, your flavor of the month. You know, I mean, I don't really see the difference. Maybe more so, because if you're mainstream, you're commercialized to me at that point. You know what I mean? So I mean, if you like, we can look at it like, how was like Ja Rule. You know, he was a hip hop artist, of course. Second album came out, started doing more R&B influence, and he became more of a mainstream. Versus Vinny Van Vici, he was on the radio, but I wouldn't think you consider Ja Rule album 1 as a mainstream artist or commercial artist. Album 2, I would say you could say he's more solidified then.
Right.
I would say there's more difference if we're talking about indie music versus mainstream commercial. You know, like we're talking about more like indie artists as far as radio or lack of radio playlists is more like college radio days or through like now the internet, you know, stations. But to me, commercial and mainstream to me, we're like brother and sisters in a sense, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, what about you, Kev?
I kind of see it the same way. Mainstream and commercial, it sounds a little bit synonymous. But, I mean, you can look at it as a mainstream song. A mainstream artist is a Drake, right? Mm-hmm. Right? But then a commercial artist is a Jay-Z, right? And you look at that's kind of the same thing, but there are more people listening to one versus the other. A mainstream artist in our community is a J. Cole.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think he's mainstream to the broader community.
Like, 'cause he's not commercial.
He's not necessarily
commercial.
Okay. I mean, but it is kind of close, you know.
Yeah.
And all of it is to make $1.
Right.
Right. And I mean that's the that's what commercial means, right? That's kind of the definition of commercial.
Yeah, I kind of before I let Don go, I'm a kind of disagree a little bit. I think in both of them, you're pretty much, it looks the same. Mm-hmm. Mainstream commercial pretty much looks the same, but I think that mainstream is, you know, you pretty much get where artists get without sacrificing too much of yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think if it's commercial, you had to give somewhere down the line. Mm-hmm. You had to give a little bit of yourself up. You know what I mean? But I think they both achieved the same result.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess I look at it almost like when I consider yourself mainstream commercials that you already gave yourself up in a sense, because like Al, you mentioned J. Cole, people know him, but maybe not in the big sense, but he still was able, and I guess I can see where Kevin was putting that, because he still sold platinum without no major radio play. And I guess I can see on your sense now, you're saying that you put your all in there without, you know, getting the Vaseline treatment.
Right, like I would say Nas is mainstream, but Nas isn't commercial.
Yeah, okay, I can see on that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what else you done?
I kind of agree with you, B. And it's crazy because like my young boys now, like my kids, I'm listening to what they listening to now, and I'm like, yo, alright, it's catchy, and like it got the beat, and I don't know. It's kind of close though, commercial and mainstream now. It's like a blend to me now, for real. Like it's kind of blended. Like you said, the mainstream, like everybody know that person, and it's out, it's getting played on the radio. But it's like that mainstream person can drop a commercial track, and that's what's getting blown up all crazy. And you just hear that, and everybody just rocking out to it.
Right.
That's how I'm seeing it right now.
Right. Because it
like what's that new joint they got going on? And it was crazy. You know what else I was talking to my young boy about this? It's like, remember back in the day, like that mainstream person that dropped the track, and then everybody would jump on his beat and freestyle off that beat. It's kind of opposite now. It's like that underground person that drops something, and then you got the mainstream people jumping on their track. Like that joint right now, that everybody's on that right now, and that's kind of low key, but they love it though. Right. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's definitely like a mixture.
Yeah.
I think nowadays there are more platforms to become known, right? So like to jump on somebody who's like a non-mainstream person's record is it validates you a little bit more. Like you're a little bit more legitimate, and we wouldn't have known of that record if there wasn't a medium for us to listen to it. That was not the radio, right? So now I can find something on YouTube, and that person that gained fame on YouTube doesn't even necessarily need to be on radio. He has a million.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's designer, you know, in a sense.
Designer, yeah.
I mean, they found him on YouTube, and
so is he mainstream or commercial?
I'll say mainstream. I mean, I want to say commercial because I mean, you gotta look at it like this.
Commercials like Drake.
Is he going to have anything outside of Panda? Yeah. You know, probably not. You know, let's be honest. And it's crazy because you hear him talk, and he talks like how he raps, and that's disturbing to me. Like, what happened to, you know, that's the education system, that's your parents. I just saw, that's your rapping voice, and then you hear him talk like, you know.
Total waste. All right, man, we can slide on along with the actual review. So we can start off, man. Our first question of the night we'll pose, and that's let's roll with the best feature 2001. So that could be a mixtape, that could be like a single, that could be a remix. You know, what was the best feature on the track to y'all in 2001? This is probably the toughest one.
I'll go.
I got something ready.
I'm gonna go with Eminem with Renegade.
Oh man, that's a good.
That
one.
was honestly that was the first one that came to me.
Yes.
That's a good one.
I think, and what a lot of people don't realize is
He killed Jay on that one.
And then, but here's the sad part. Now that I said, Eminem killed you in your own shit, but that wasn't even the original version of Renegade. That's the crazy part. And
Right.
Because remember, the original Renegade was Evan Royce.
Good point. You cleared that up too.
But at the time, when Royce was with Columbia Records, Interscope wouldn't clear the Eminem feature. They cleared him for Rock City, but they wouldn't clear him for Renegade. Jay heard Renegade, wanted the song, but and then M said Royce gave him his blessings, get the song to Jay. And keep in mind, Eminem didn't change his verse. It's the same exact verse on the original one that's on Jay's version. So technically, Jay had time to come up with the best thing in his life, and still got destroyed by him. From a verse that was probably like 2 years old at that point. By the time that came out in 01. But I think what's good, what's important about this, I think we always knew that Eminem was that dude lyrically. But I think for the rest of Black America, hearing him on Jay-Z's album, say, oh shoot, like this dude, he might be a weirdo, he might be talking about him killing his mom and his ex-girlfriend, but he's a lyricist, and I think this really kind of solidified him to the average black folk. Not to make someone like us who's like, he got bars, but to the average casual black fan, like, okay, he's actually can, hang with the top tier MCs.
And I've been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day, cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to talk
Probably Eminem really good beat too.
Don, you got something for the features? I got one in the tuck, but
What's that?
I'm gonna go with the MOBB. You know what I mean? I gotta go with Burn.
Burn?
Yeah,
Off the what's that? The Infantry.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Infamy album, Infamy.
Yeah, that was a good track. That was a good track.
I remember. Actually, this was the first song I was bumping. This coming in Shippensburg, because the next year we would be at Shippensburg, and I forgot to bring that up. You know what I mean? But we, for everybody that don't know, me and Don did our first year at Shippensburg University together, and that's when we really met and kicked it off. But
we go back further than that, man.
yeah, we do.
We go back to Cussman.
Absolutely, Lil Larry.
Right.
And Mike. But Big Noy, man, you know what I mean, killed it, he trademarked this song, you know what I mean, and I gotta go with Burn for this joint, man.
Let me tell you how it's going down.
Vita was a feature on that.
Yes, sir.
I'm that same nigga with the check holding the spot down. Except I'm pushing the legs, letting the top down. Well, wait, you don't think I live a pop life now?
Cause wait, you can get
Cause
pop
hey,
right
you can
now.
get pop right now. We don't play. I keep a gun around my way. Cause I'm a fucking drummer king. Like my nigga K.
Yeah.
Sex, drugs, money, and murder.
Big Noy, baby, Queensbridge.
Guidelines and codes we obey.
What?
What y'all rocking with, man? What y'all got on
I tried coming all the way out.
What y'all got on the best feature 2001? It's a tough one, man.
I mean, to be honest with you, 2001 was a very quiet year in hip hop, and anything that I think of is not better than Renegade.
That's
Renegade's a song that I listen to now,
huge.
and it's just as good as I listened to it the first time.
Yeah.
So every other song that I was thinking of is out.
Don't put a foot in that way.
Yeah, Renegade is the best feature of that year. Nothing else came out that good.
Because you said feature, that's the first thing that came to you, like, it's Renegade or nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, you can make arguments for the song, but it's still not gonna win.
there were other good songs. I mean, there were other decent songs, but Renegade still to this day comes on and listen to the whole thing.
Oh, sounds on.
Hey, Don, you got a feature for this year?
Not really, for real. I don't know.
It was a lot of mixtape heat. You know what I mean? But I think we're forgetting about that, because this also was a transition where mixtapes were like really dominating.
Yeah.
Like, all right, like Fabulous had an album out this year. Jadakiss had an album out this year. But we were listening to the mixtapes
Mixtapes are better.
Yeah.
of those dudes.